Welcome to TradeTheNBA.com. This is John. This report is for the 3rd of September. Juggernaut continues. We're seeing continuation of magenta over yellow and well above that 33 level that would signal any concern. And still 5 on an NBI white. We've got to get way up over 10. We'd have to see the red dipping back below, blue as well. We're still looking at shakeout now 12.12. The previous one 12.03. So now you have a higher shakeout on higher highs. So congruency there, that was important. We were waiting for that one to develop. Yes, we did get a DOC spread with the cyan popping above, but without any supporting action from the NBI indicator. It's just a little bit of softness within, and that's what we see when we get these dips that go back to the ABM yellow intraday. Nothing too dramatic. Moving on to the gold. Still holding, waiting for that catalyst that's going to really propel it back up to the highs. Just a matter of waiting for it to happen. Euro action. Likewise, again, dollar, they want that euro rising, and that will help S&P continuation. And that's what the driving force has been. Of course, Bitcoin is pushing to highs simply because you see this ongoing continuation of no end in sight to not just money printing, but the abuse of capital markets through intervention. And this is the only way to be somewhat free of that. The gold is the other option, but this has become more volatile and seemingly more attractive now that it's moved into futures markets. The expansion for Bitcoin in a lot of different areas as far as usage goes. From a 50K standpoint, so we've been talking about this. I've been making adjustments, creating the shorts. Still have a few more to go. As you can see, there's some void areas in here that should get filled in based on the long setups, and then working with shorts. So I kind of corrupted where we were from the last readings, which were over 4. But win rate 56%, horrible on the short side. And that's simply because a lot of the short trades aren't necessarily losers. They're just tiny moves, and so you get more trades that are flat or tiny loss relative to the winners. That's why it's still a 1.3 profit factor. But I'm going to send out the one that I posted the other day that has the higher capability, and again, becomes nice because you can go to the edit strategies part of it and customize, and you'll see where you can turn on or off the short trades, turn on or off the different buy configurations so you can see what each one's do. And then the fail stop ATR and the risk point is another one that I've added, the number of points you're willing to risk in a given trade kind of setup. So those options are available, and it makes it nice because by just doing that, then you can either optimize those or, and it still keeps it within the range, and that's important. It's not changing any of the parameters of what the signaling actually is. So when we turn on that additional one, you can see the change that it makes in the overall readings because I just added in the cyan reading. But again, still impressive from a overall standpoint. You can look at performance graph. What to me is interesting is very low drawdowns in between. I think this longest stretch right here was in May, and it lasted till it was like mid-May to mid-June, so it was literally a 1-month period. And I know what was happening. There's a couple of these long trades like this one in the in-between range that were captured, and just gotta run through the code and find out what it is that's missing within those to get them to capture those setups as well. And that'll be good. and that will really project the profit factor even higher. But it's nice, and even running it on the 5K, what is important for me, like in the short configurations, is that it captures from point to point, and that's what I'm looking for. And then on the when it flips, if it's in a downside, that it only captures small, and that's where I put in into point stop, playing with the different stop capabilities of TradeStation language, just to get the most effective one for what we're trying to do. And in fact, when I add in the cyan, I'm going to make some adjustments to cyan candle, because we know it's usually above 76%, or at least above 61%. Instead of converting waiting for a move below 76, I'm probably going to use the avian yellow, which oftentimes will give us a midpoint in between, which may just lift some of the exits a few points for that particular trade. And that's the beauty of naming each one of them. You can set up parameters that fill in not unique situations. These are normal readings that take place on all charts throughout all time. So it's not like we're curving anything to match just this particular, because it will work on intraday as well. But it gives us a more precise capability to really capture the best portions of each of the moves. As always, though, I will be sending that one out a little bit later, probably before your market time, pretty close. It's just sometimes it eats up a lot of time doing the optimization setups. But you'll have that and be able to put it on your screens and see what you think. As always, though, you can look for me to put up additional items in the Skype chat. Trade well.